One time it wasn't recording because
I could see it recording though.
no, I know, but one time I went to go do a podcast with somebody
Uh-huh.
and I didn't get the audio. It was Coach Jose's podcast. I didn't get the audio, the old grappler. I didn't get the audio because wasn't pushed in all the way.
Oh,
And
good job, Jesse.
Before we start the episode of The Hassle of Hair, we would like you to
Subscribe to The Hassle of Hair.
like, share, subscribe right now. Right now. Do it.
I don't
right
know
now.
where the button's at.
Yeah, the button's right here. Do it. Right there. Subscribe. Love you. Enjoy the episode. Peace. This podcast is powered by Siempre Photo Booth. Our photo booth. It's how we generate income to live and eat and for me to have
this luscious long hair.
No, but really, guys, this podcast wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this lady right here. Siempre Photo Booth. It's a forever photo booth. If you guys have an event coming up, if you guys have a grand opening for your business, if you guys are getting married, if you guys have a birthday, if you guys have a celebration, any kind of event, guys, we can set it up anywhere. Just message us, DM us at The Hassle of Hair.
Siempre Photo Booth on Instagram.
Siempre Photo Booth on Instagram. And if you guys don't have an event, just tell somebody. If they need an event, just reach out and say, hey, I have this friend. If they say, no, it's all right, just reach out to them. But yeah, guys, thanks to this photo booth, we were able to do this and upgrade, as you see. But I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys go check out our sponsors, Castro's Pool Service and Repair. If you guys need your pool maintenance, service, fixed, anything, check out Castro's Pool Service and Repair. The number is 209-675-5418. That's 209-675-5418. Support those that
That's why.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
Yeah. So and then, sorry, I almost knocked over my water bottle. Yeah, and that's why I double check everything now.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're pretty smart. I wouldn't have figured you figured that out.
What, this?
Yeah.
The being able to put the remote on my phone for the camera?
You know, I could do that for the photo booth too, right?
What do you mean?
I could do a remote for the photo booth and do the prints and the pictures instead of me looking at the screen. You know how when I start it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you can? Why don't you do that?
Because I don't have Wi-Fi connection.
You need Wi-Fi? Wouldn't that just be Bluetooth?
No, I need Wi-Fi, but that's a Microsoft computer.
Yeah.
And mine's Apple.
What does that mean? Bluetooth?
No.
No.
It doesn't work. I already tried it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I have a remote I could do for that too.
No, it's crazy because we were FedEx drivers during the time when everything was booming, right? When you had Bluetooth, NVIDIA, Apple, like when
NVIDIA?
like all these things like were barely
tech companies around there.
Yeah, because you remember not that many years before we started FedEx, which was 2012. Not that many years before that. Remember
I wouldn't even say 2012. I'd just say 2013 because we literally started 12.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a whole year that we worked there.
And then, but before that was when all the websites, not the websites, but the website boom, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they have like everything fell off? Like, what's it called?
What do you mean?
There was a time when where we delivered in the Silicon Valley, it all fell apart.
It fell apart?
Yeah. Remember all those all those buildings were empty, and we delivered in Santa Clara, and right now it's booming. There's a bunch of tech places, because of the Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
But there was a time when the website bubble just bursted.
Website? I have no idea what you're talking about, to be honest.
Internet bubble bursted. That's what I'll put. Internet bubble bursted.
What the fuck?
You don't remember them talking about how there used to be just empty buildings?
Well, I know there's some empty buildings, but I have no idea what the fuck you mean about the internet bubble bursting.
Okay. The .com bubble.
Still don't know what that is.
Okay. That's what I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you right now. I just looked it up. It says the .com bubble was a stock market bubble in the late 1990s. The period coincident.
Dude, you were what, like 10? In the late 1990s, you were 10?
Yeah, I think so. Coincided with massive growth in the internet adoption. A proliferation, big words, let's go, Jesse, come on, you got this. Proliferation of available venture capital and the rapid growth of valuations and the new .com startups.
So between 1995 and its peak in March 2000, investments in NASDAQ Composite Stock Market Index rose, that stuff I just don't understand, rose 800%. Oh, there we go. Index rose 800%, only to fall to 740 from its peak by October 2002, giving up all its gains during the bubble. Now here we go, what I'm talking about. So it's past 2002. During the dot-com crash, many online shopping companies, notably Pets.com, Webvan, Boo.com, as well as several communication companies such as WorldCom, Northpoint Communications, and Global Crossing failed and shut down. Others like LastMinute.com, MP3.com, People Sound, survived the burst but were acquired. Larger companies like Amazon and Cisco Systems lost large portions of their market capitalizations, with Cisco losing 80% of its stock value. 80% is like basically the whole fucking business. You don't remember this?
No, I don't.
So it says, nearing the turn of the 2000s, spending on technology was volatile as companies prepared for year 2000 problem. There were concerns that the computer systems would have trouble changing their clock and calendar.
Dude, that's way too much info.
But that was like the Y2K.
So what's your question then?
It's not really a question. I'm just remembering that time. Do you remember when the internet it seemed like the internet wasn't a money thing? Dude, you got a married couple in their house making money off of the internet.
Yeah.
You go when I was in middle school, 2012, 2002, 2013, the internet was like, it wasn't a thing because it all failed, right? Do you remember how the Beanie Babies were like a huge thing?
Yes.
Right? And they crashed when the dot-com crashed too.
Is it because they weren't able to sell them online?
They weren't able to sell them on. No, I think just because they just ran its peak with the Beanie Babies.
Like anything.
Yeah. But it's like, that's what I was reading because I was trying to figure out why it bursted, right? But I think they just moved too fast. Like everybody was buying all everybody was moving into
all these .coms?
These buildings too. All those buildings were filled in Santa Clara. If you've never been to Santa Clara is like half city, and then the other half is like all technology buildings.
Okay.
There's literally campuses full of servers for data.
Yeah.
For like Amazon or these game companies.
Cisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like but like you see them all over the place. If you drive all over the United States, you don't see places like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I guess different cities are known for different things. So, like, if you go in the country, they're known more for, like, farming and shit. So they're not going to have, like, a big old technology thing.
Yeah. That was just crazy, right?
Well, we need to hurry and sell Eva's Squishmallows so that the market for those don't crash.
That was insane, too. Like, when we were doing who had brought it up?
Brought what? Gabe?
The Squishmallows.
Your cousin did.
Oh, so
saying that he purchased one for his fiance that was like $100 or something.
So Squishmallows are these Beanie Babies. So like they're like these little plush things. But she has these small ones, and then she has these huge ones. And I didn't know how much she had. So like my cousin was talking about how his girlfriend, his fiance has a lot of Squishmallows. And Squishmallows. And I was like, oh, Eva has some of those. And I knew she
has some.
And then Raquel started throwing them downstairs, and it was a shitload.
They were in garbage bags. I
was like, God damn. But then I started looking up how much they are. Holy shit. Like if we sell them all, we'll get like a 400% return.
Yeah.
Like some of them she bought for like $5.
$5, yeah.
And you get like $45 for them, $50, $45 to $50. And I'm like, holy crap. I was like, that's her tuition.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny. But it did get me thinking about like Beanie Babies and how big they were. I didn't have them. I don't think my mom got
I
it.
think I might have had one, but it could have been one that was like happened to be like my birth month or birthday, the same one.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't think I really had. I don't think I had like a collection of them or anything.
I'm not really a collector.
Oh, like precious moments. You know what precious moments are?
Hallmark?
Yeah, Hallmark, those little dolls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. You had those?
I didn't have those, but those were also a big hit too.
My brother had Barbies.
Your brother had
No,
precious moments?
My sister had a shitload of Barbies.
Did she?
Like a shitload of Barbies. Like the collector edition ones. Still in the boxes. I wonder what my dad did with those. I remember the precious moment stuff. But I wonder what my dad did with my sister's Barbies.
He probably kept them.
Yeah. It's crazy because my sister was like super, super, like they gave her everything. Like you go into me and my brother's room and it was like our football equipment, our like just clothes. We shared a room and my sister had like a bunk bed. Underneath was a little like play area underneath her bunk bed. And then like she had a bunch of stuff. Like it looked like a freaking fantasy land in her room. And
well, she was only a girl.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy. So, but it was just, I don't know. Like, it's crazy how things just, the websites go up and, not websites, but things just go up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, I wonder if these podcast things are going to die out, right?
Do you think so?
I don't know.
I feel like Howard Stern was doing podcasts before podcasts were podcasts. Because he would have a live show and then broadcast like just the audio.
Yeah. But
But it wasn't a podcast.
Yeah, the first ones were the Howard Stern.
It was a Howard Stern show.
Adam Carolla. What's his name? Tom Green. Remember Tom Green and Freddie Got Fingered?
Yes. Backwards man.
Like most of my childhood is off of those movies. They don't even show those kind of movies anymore.
Yeah. I wonder why. Look at the shit that they say and do in there.
Well, what's wrong with that?
People are too sensitive nowadays.
You think they're too sensitive? I don't think they're too sensitive.
I feel like people have opinion about everything. People are too sensitive. You do something, somebody doesn't like it, you get called out. You're this, you're that.
Yeah, you're talking about online, but when I look around my neighborhood, when I look around the places I go, nobody's sensitive like that.
Yeah, online. That's what I'm saying. You're talking about online. I'm saying yes, online.
I don't think the online opinion matters. Like when you're able to put your opinion out there on the shitter, that shouldn't be an opinion. I'm just saying, like it's just, it's like my friend. He messaged me videos, and I was like, get off the internet. You're bored, or just get off the internet, something like that. And it's so crazy. Like we're so addicted to these things, and me included.
Like these?
Yeah, like so addicted to them. It's like you're always on it, even if you're working. Like that's how people work now most of the time too, is from a laptop, from a phone.
Well, I know I use my phone. I use the iPad. I use the computer.
But I think people are getting more open about just. I think I seen a commercial that Instagram is start slow or start small, and it shows people meeting. It shows these two girls meeting each other, then going out for drinks.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I think they're trying to go towards Instagram not being this popularity contest and being this connection.
Being so people, it's like an easier way to meet people.
Yeah.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I seen the commercial. It's her looking at that girl's page and then going and be like, oh, hey, I seen you from social media.
Yeah. And
then from there, they have like a friendship.
Do you know how many, I've been doing that since the fucking pandemic. You know how many people I met?
A lot? A lot?
You know how many fucking relationships I have because of the fucking internet? It's crazy. Like even like thinking of Diego, Tall Diego, the part of the Cayucas 4, Tall Diego and Security Diego, And
But you knew Diego before the podcast. You knew him from the gym. So it's not like you met him because of the podcast.
Cayucas is for Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Diego from security, yes, you did meet him. Did you meet him before, though, at the gym?
I knew of him.
Okay.
I met him a few times.
And then you reached out, and then he said, okay. He got along. He jumped on this crazy boat idea of yours.
Yes. Yes. And like, and
most of your good friends you met through podcast, though.
Yeah.
Gloria, well, Coach
GT,
Jose.
Coach
yeah,
Jose.
that's what I said, Gloria. Coach Jose, Diego. Who else? I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Huh? Coach Jose,
Gloria.
Diego, Gloria.
Sorry.
EJ. I knew him from the gym, but then we podcasted and then we just kept on going from there. Like it's just from the internet. Like I sat down and hung out with the Pasta 209 owner.
Yeah.
I would have been eating there no matter what.
Oh my God.
But I met him through the internet. All right? Like
yeah. And you podcasted with him?
And I podcasted with him.
Yes.
And that's why when people are like, oh, I want to start a podcast. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, don't do it to, you realize like slowly things will happen, but do it to meet people. Do it to.
Why do you think people want to do it though?
I don't know.
It's a tuxedo.
I like stories. That's what I did it. Like, I literally like stories.
But how much of the stories are really stories and not like truth or facts? You know what I mean? Like,
that's the hard part. That's not for me to decide.
Yeah.
Like, I want to let people have a voice. And if people listen and they decide like, oh, this guy's full of shit.
Like I'm not going to say names, but I know like we've done a few podcasts and then like you post and people reach out like, oh, so-and-so's full of shit. They're liars. They're this, they're that. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Yeah. I'll just say
You know what
it.
I mean?
I'll just say it.
No, don't. No.
This was fucking crazy.
No, don't.
So I'll just say.
No, you don't need to say anything. Just leave it as the way we're saying it.
No, because he told me some crazy shit.
My God.
So this guy during the pandemic came into my house and he said he was a Muay Thai fighter. He went to Thailand and fought once. And he.
Did they actually go to Thailand though or no?
No, he did.
Okay.
So yeah, he fought, right?
Okay.
But he's like, he told me this wild shit, dude. He told me this wild shit. He said he was, that he had a contract with one championship and that before, like, this is fucking crazy to me. I don't realize how people lie like this.
Can I say the service part?
Huh?
Can I say the service part?
Hold on. And so like, so he comes into my house, right? And I'm watching him online saying his story. All I heard was him going to Thailand and fighting in Thailand.
Okay.
I didn't need anything else. And then but he started adding all this other shit. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
And he said that he went to Thailand and he's trying to save the kids over there, which I didn't find out if it was bullshit or not. But because he said a lot of other bullshit, I take that as bullshit.
No, but you didn't think it was bullshit.
Yeah.
At first. Okay. You believed it.
Believed it. But then he walked into my house and he says that he has a one championship contract.
Maybe he did.
No, he didn't. He literally had like 2 Muay Thai fights.
Maybe he did have a contract. Maybe they did reach out.
No. Bullshit.
Okay.
Okay? No.
Dude, you need to relax. You're giving yourself high blood pressure right now.
And then he told me that before I messaged him, Joe Rogan had told him that Joe Rogan wants him on his podcast.
Okay.
And when he told me that, I was like, bro.
It could have been believable. You know why? Because you have said you had Chris Lieben on your podcast. Regardless if it was for like 15 minutes, you had him on there. That sounds like a crazy story to even fucking say. Hey guys, I had Chris Lieben on my podcast.
But
who could believe that? If no one looked on YouTube and actually was like, okay, is this guy telling the truth or not? Who would believe that? Who would believe that? Nobody.
It's not that hard. All you gotta do is just reach out to people.
But he could have been on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan could have reached out.
Bullshit, no.
Okay.
Because a lot of it...
I'm trying to just give the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to be just trying to throw out some other stuff.
No, but I had people hit me up that he was full of shit.
Uh-huh.
And like his stories didn't go like
They didn't add up.
Uh-huh. They were adding up. And it just like...
Can I say the service part now?
What service?
That he said he was a Green Beret.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And then the other...
He said he was
Okay. He said he was a Green Beret.
That was wild.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
That was wild. And
how dare you try to say it after I just said, let me say it.
And I had, dude, that was insane, you guys.
Yeah.
Like, if I know what I know now, like how I deal with situations, like I would have called him out in this bullshit.
I don't think you would have. I really don't, because you don't like confrontation. I would have said something.
Yeah.
I would be like, really? Come on.
That was fucking wild.
You don't really like confrontation, babe.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
It's not that I don't like confrontation, because like lately I've been getting into confrontations and holding my ground.
Mm-hmm. I feel like once you turn 33, you just grew up a little bit more.
Yeah. I honestly think it's from bouncing, though.
Why? You don't really gotta deal with...
You realize
you deal with drunk people.
I was in this la-la land where, like, everybody doesn't... Like, no one would lie like that.
You mean you were in a bubble?
That's unbelievable. Like, who would lie that bad?
He must have had a really good childhood, because, I mean, kids with imagination like that, they just make up stories for days.
But I had someone tell me... I was working at the bar, and someone came up, and he's all, dude, you don't know who I am? I'm a UFC fighter. And there was a
Was he really?
There was a professional fighter right next to me, and...
Was he really a UFC fighter?
And we both look at each other, we're like... me and the other security guy who's a professional UFC fighter, who's a professional fighter, not UFC fighter, he's a professional fighter. Me and him look at each other like... Was the
other guy a really UFC fighter, though?
Fuck no. He did. I
feel like if you're like... I feel like the people that say that you're this or you're that are really not this or that. I don't know. That's just like someone saying, "Oh, I'm hella gangsta." If you're gangsta, you don't gotta say you're gangsta.
But he only did basically a boxing smoker.
Was it a UFC?
It was a sparring boxing. Like, I don't have no problem with that.
Was it a
but
UFC?
If you're gonna say if you're a UFC fighter and only have a fucking boxing sparring,
you should have said me too, dude.
Dude, and then
you should have said that. He would have been like, "Oh, really? When?" And then you could have said, "Oh, really? When did you?"
Well, I never knew people fucking lie like this.
People lie, babe.
And then but then the bullshit meter, my bullshit meter starts getting bigger and bigger, right? Like, I mean, me being able to see bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? And it's still, sometimes I get fucking gullible, but fuck, dude, it's crazy how people are able to lie like that to impress people. It's fucking wild. It's like, dude, just be yourself. You don't have to fucking
who you trying to impress?
Like, who the fuck are you trying to impress?
I mean, you're not going to sleep with them, are you?
No,
okay, then.
But if you're trying to say that that's your life, then go fucking do it. You know,
don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, I don't know, even... Because I guess we're just doing shit. Even I was 28 and I was like, oh, I just want to go be a fighter. I was like, fuck it, I'll go be a fighter.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about it. I just wanted to go fucking do it. Right? And then then the podcast thing.
I mean, when you were a fighter, though, you actually talked about it all the time. Like, hey guys, I'm a fighter.
No, I didn't do that.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't go fucking telling people I'm a fucking fighter.
Yes, you did.
No, bullshit.
Yeah.
Shit.
You did.
No,
ask
bullshit.
anybody that knows you.
Oh, ask me. There's no way I walked around, I'm a fighter, I'm a fighter.
You did.
I'm a fighter.
You did.
No.
Yeah.
You're fucking crazy. But even the podcast shit, I'm just doing it.
You know what kind of irks me?
What?
Is so I'm in these groups on Facebook for the photo booth, and a lot of stuff that I like the photo booth when I first started out, a lot of it was trial and error. Like I learned on my own. You know, like if I didn't really know something, I would look on YouTube and stuff like that. But everything else I kind of learned on my own. And in these groups, you get these people that just start out and they know nothing. Like
They know nothing.
They know nothing at all.
Yeah.
And then they want everybody to kind of hand it to them. Like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I want to be like, look, I'm sorry you're stuck, but figure it out. You know, like if it's like most of the stuff, I'm like, I'll help them out if it's something like, okay, you know. But the moment you start helping them out, they want more and more and more. They just want, they're not offering anything. I feel like that's kind of like a fucked up move. I feel like if you don't really know, then don't get into it. That's just how I feel.
I like most, but
I feel like, but it's a lot of people that start out and they don't know anything though. They know nothing of the photo booth.
you didn't know nothing.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't, but I learned it on my own.
Yeah.
There wasn't anybody for me to go to.
But all those people get weeded out,
Yeah.
right? Like all those things get weeded out. Like I
Like you can't tell me that I didn't do any of my research for everything. The photo booths, the templates, the software, the lighting, the camera.
yeah, all those people get weeded out. Like you know how many times like people have pitched me the pipe dream, like have pitched me like, oh, do this and do this, like you can make money off of doing videos for companies and all that stuff, and or you could do social media. It's like I get what you're saying. I can make money off of that.
Yeah.
But then that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's not what I want to do. Like you don't know what I want to do, right? And they look at me when I tell them no. They just look at me like, what? Like
Yeah, like okay, so somebody.
I'm not in it for the money.
Yes, you motherfucking are in
I'm
it for the fucking money.
But I want to make money off of what I'm doing. I don't want to work
For somebody else.
Yeah, I want to have creativity. Like this is my creation.
Yeah. So there was somebody that reached out, or not, they just posted like, "Oh, can somebody help me with? I have two events. I think one's a baby shower, one's something else. Can somebody help me with templates?" And I reached out. I'm like, "What do you need help with?" And then they're like, "With templates." I go, "Okay, well, do you know like what layout they want, what size they want? Like, you first got to figure out the size they want, the colors they want. Like, what are you offering?"
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to do it for you. I'll help you. But then you get people that are like, "Oh, can you do templates for me?" It's like, I could for $10. It's like, it literally takes a lot of time and money, and not time and money, not money, but time. And it literally takes a lot of time and effort for me to do those.
Yeah, like it's crazy because like I'm like those people that waste your time, they get weeded out. You kind of just got to ignore them. And that's what I had to deal with is like, I dealt with a lot of people wasting my time because I'm just hungry. Like I'm hungry and willing to listen to anybody, you know, I'm literally like, but then you realize like not to listen to everybody,
Yeah.
you know, and
Like I always tell you, there is no right way. There is no wrong way. It's just what works for you.
you know what I hate? You know what I fucking hate?
It better not be something about me.
Is people they come up to me and they go, "Oh, you have that podcast, right?" And I don't mind that. That's cool.
Are you sure
know?
it's not the ones that say like, "Oh my God, your wife's so funny"?
Oh yeah, that's cool. But this is like people will come up to me and is like, "Oh, you have that podcast, right?" I go, "Yeah." They go, "Oh, I haven't listened to it yet."
So then how the fuck do they know you got a podcast?
And like, why the fuck would you tell me that? I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if sometimes it feels like it's just a jab at me.
Why?
I don't know. Just like, I'm not hurt by it, but it's like, I walk away like, what the fuck?
So what I get a lot, and there's nothing wrong with it, is, there are things that, this is what really pisses me off is, "Oh, you're Jesse's wife." I'm like, no, Jesse's my husband.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm Jesse's wife, but Jesse's wife has a name. You know, like that kind of just bugs me because it's like, I don't want to be defined because of you.
And that, like,
But then I also get people that come through drive-through and they're like, "Oh, you and your husband do that podcast, huh? You guys are funny," which I don't mind at all, which is, I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I want to be like, who does a podcast? Like, you know, they're, "Oh, I have a twin." I don't have a twin, but they don't know that. I mean, now they might.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, we've been doing this for a while.
Man, we just sound like a bunch of complainers right now. Fuck.
It's Complain Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Right? Today's Wednesday?
Yeah, it is.
Complainer Wednesday.
We actually got to do 2 events on one day.
You did 2 events.
I did, but I didn't say me. But we did actually have, our business actually did have 2 events for one day.
Our daughter's friend.
Yes, our daughter's very good friend.
Our daughter's friend. Thank you.
Thank you. You know who you are.
But
She ran one of them for us. I gave her the easiest job.
and yeah, you did 2 events.
Yeah, we did 2 events.
Oh yeah. Because I would have helped her, but then my uncle passed away. My uncle was 53. It's my uncle from my mom's side. And yeah, he died of.
Why do you gotta say it like that?
What do you want me to say?
Passed away? Why do people say died?
Passed away? What the fuck does passed away mean?
It just sounds nicer.
He passed away.
Yeah, it just sounds nicer than my uncle died.
He did.
Don't say it like that. It just sounds bad.
Yeah, he died. He was a big part of my childhood, right? Like he used to take, like, my parents worked a lot, and he used to take me and my brother places, and he used to a big influence on me for music, because he's the one that used to take me to Streetlight Records, Rasputin, where they sell CDs and
Records.
And he just let us run around and go look for CDs. And I did that into my 20s. I used to go to Streetlight and Rasputin's and go look at CDs and movies, and it was because of him. You know, like he never really had a family. He was a gay man.
He never had.
I was trying to say it the best way without laughing.
He never had any kids of his own.
Yeah, he was gay, and I
Really?
keep on laughing.
Gay people have kids?
I know, but I just keep on laughing because I just hear him like this. I don't know. That's right. Like, I don't know. But he was a big influence on me for music. He took me to go see Chris Cornell. He would take us to go eat and talk about the new music that was coming out. Like, he was a big Madonna fan.
Yes.
He was a big grunge fan. He's the one that made me realize that Nirvana wasn't the best grunge, right? And that's what people think, is Nirvana's the best grunge. They're not. You have Temple of a Dog. They kind of started it all, and that was Chris Cornell and his first group. They're the ones that sing that song, "I'm going hungry, yeah." No?
Thank God you're a podcaster and not a singer.
And that was all because of my uncle. He lived a very simple life. The end of his road, it got kind of out of control because of his health. But I got to see him pass away. Right? And that was what happened? Like, how did that happen? Like, how did that, like,
How did he end up get sick? Or
no, I was literally at home.
We were home. So Sunday, I came home from work. I seen that he was in the hospital. We talked about it a little bit. Honestly, to be honest, I didn't think it was anything serious, just because I didn't think it was anything serious to the point of thinking your uncle was going to pass away.
Yeah.
I just thought he was sick. He went to the hospital. And then we get a call from your aunt, who's in states away, and letting us know what was happening. And then we're getting ready for, bed or something? Getting ready for bed. And it was already 11 something, almost midnight. And then your aunt called us and said that your uncle wasn't going to make it, that the hospital said somebody should be there with him if he passes.
And
everybody kind of already had left the hospital. We're on their way home.
And I was the closest.
Yeah.
So
Jesse drove out there to like a 30-minute drive, 40-minute drive.
Yeah. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go because like I still deal with shit like from my mom seeing her die. Like I didn't want to relive it. It's not that I deal with it still. It's like I didn't want to relive it. I know what that is.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. So I didn't want to go. So I said, fuck it, I'll go. I went to go put gas. I came back and I said, I don't think my wife should go. I think this should be a me thing. And even though I was
I don't think I would have been able to go in there though.
Yeah. And then so I went and yeah, I won't get into it too much, but I seen my I see my uncle, you know, pass away. And that was a quick reminder. And it came out of nowhere. It was a quick reminder of how fragile we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know? How fragile we are and how we take things for granted. Right? Because my uncle didn't live the most motivated life, I would say. Like he wasn't motivated, like he wasn't, but so I didn't, for some reason, okay, I'll just tell the truth. I don't know why I'm like trying to hold back. Like he didn't live a really motivated life. And for some reason, he didn't go after things in his life later on. And for some reason, I thought like, oh, well, he didn't show me that much.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then when I was driving home, I realized he showed me everything. Because of the things that he went through from being gay and the things that he went through just as a kid, like he showed me compassion. Like I said, I told my family that he was the first one to really listen.
Mm-hmm.
When my mom passed away and I was going through everything I was going through being this crazy kid, everybody wanted to tell me what to do. Right? You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to, like, everybody wanted to tell me what to do, especially men. Right? And my uncle was the first one that I sat down with and he just would listen.
Yeah.
Like, he would just listen and just maybe sometimes think I was crazy, but he wouldn't. He
didn't judge you.
He didn't judge me, nothing. He would just listen. And he showed me compassion. And that was probably, he gave me a voice. Right? And that was probably one of the biggest things someone has ever done for me.
Yeah.
You know, and it's crazy. Because here, all this time, I'm like, oh, my uncle's not motivated. My uncle's this, my uncle's that. And you don't realize what they did for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could go back and I could tell them that. You know, and so, like, after he passed, like, I'm trying to be more open with communication. I'm trying to reach out to my family. I'm trying to talk to all of them. I'm trying to answer phone calls and be there, you know? Because I had this thing in me where I could shut myself out. Like, since I left the gym, I literally talked to like 4 people.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you probably talked to more people, and I really shut myself out.
It's only because I have coworkers.
Yeah, but you talk to your sisters, like
Well, that's it. That's like an everyday thing, though.
Yeah.
Like, literally everyday thing.
Yeah.
So.
What, talking to your sisters?
Yeah.
Yeah, and dude, I wish I had that.
You want me to call you?
No.
You want me to have them call you? You can talk to them.
Why I do? Well, you know what's crazy? I had this like short attention span, and I've gotten better because I have friends now that don't let me fucking hang up or leave a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a very short attention span.
Okay.
Like, and it's hard. Like, I just get bored. Like, do you ever have this? I'll be talking on the phone, and sometimes I just get bored. I'm like, fuck.
Okay, to be honest, sometimes when you talk, I get bored.
Yeah, that's true. That's how I feel sometimes.
I'm like, I don't want to be mean, you know, but I'm just like, okay, I'll just sit here and listen to whatever you're saying or whatever you need to talk about. But most of the time, sometimes, not most of the time, I'm just like, change the fucking subject, or you know what I mean?
I get stuck on things.
Yeah. Sometimes you repeat yourself too many times, and I'm like, I already heard this story.
Yeah. Because
But I'm not trying to be mean and be like, okay, dude.
No. I get stuck on things like I get stuck and I'm like over and over in my head.
Yeah.
Like, what's the main thing I'm talking about right now?
Your road trip. Sponsorship.
Sponsorship, the road trip. It's all I think about.
Yeah.
You know, like that came through 2 weeks ago. I thought of an idea and like I haven't stopped.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know why my mind works like that.
Short attention span.
It's just short. It's a short track. Like it's one sided. It's a one road. Like
Once you see something and you talk about it, it's set until you can get it off of your fucking mind, or it's done.
yeah, it's pretty wild. Like it's a bad thing and a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's how I learned martial arts. So like in the small time that I did, like, and then like I think about it too. Like I look at other people that tried fighting. Like that shit's hard. Like it's hard to get a W. I
Yeah.
don't care who you fight. It is so hard to get a W. And I did it just like I quit my job and said, "Oh fuck, I want to do this." And that's how like
I mean, that wasn't the only reason why you quit your job.
no, but I mean like I did it after I quit my job and it was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking crazy like that. And like that's how I do everything. Right. And
Pretty much.
like this fucking road trip, like I was like, oh, this is how I'm gonna grow my podcast.
Yeah.
And now I haven't stopped talking about it. Now I haven't stopped.
You haven't shut up about it.
Yeah, now I haven't stopped thinking about it and thinking of ways to get sponsorship, thinking of ways of what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna travel. Like, you know, I'm already thinking of the next one.
Oh my God.
Like, you know, but like, but you're like that too.
Like what?
Like, look at the photo booth.
Yeah.
You don't get one.
I feel like your mind trumps my mind when it comes to conversations like that. I feel like I listen to you a little bit more about your things that you want to do than when I try to talk to you about stuff that I'm interested in.
I fucking hate it.
What I do?
No, what you talked about.
Oh.
Like where I'm just overwhelming.
I feel like, yeah.
There'll be times when I'm like talking to you and I just stop and like, so you want to say anything?
And it's like I'm just a little, honestly, my mind sometimes is just exhausted from you. That's just the nicest way to say it. It is so, because like this trip that you're taking, it has been nonstop.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But like, do you think if my mind wasn't like that it would happen?
Yes.
You really think so?
Yes. I do.
Like, yeah, we'll be talking and I'm like, fuck, dude, she is getting bored of my conversation.
I am. I was like, talk to me something else.
I don't stop thinking about life.
You're not ripping the tags off for them, are you? Okay.
I don't stop thinking about life. I don't stop thinking about like what it all means. Like that's all
I feel like your main focus right now is just travel show, sponsors. And I'm like, okay, I got to cook dinner. Okay, Eva has this coming up. Okay, what am I going to do here? Like my mind is going like with, I'm juggling hella shit and you're just juggling one thing.
Yeah. No. You think that, but in my head, I'm juggling my health.
Okay.
I'm juggling my marriage. I'm juggling making money.
Okay.
Like that's huge, right? Like I'm juggling my friendships, being a father. Like when I think about like why I'm doing the travel show, it's like, okay, now I gotta start doing, because I felt like I was stagnant. I felt like I want to say it wasn't working, but it was like there has to be a better way to get sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be a better way of growing this thing.
Okay.
And I always wanted to travel, so that's why like I was like, and then I just thought of ideas. But all this comes from like giving like the money.
So is this a high? Like you need this to feed your high?
I wouldn't say I'm feeding my high because in my head, like the money I make off of this, it's gonna better your shit. You know, like that's all I think. It's not to make me feel better. It's like because this is fucking crazy. Like
I
this.
feel like this feeds you though.
No, it does feed me.
Like it feeds your like, yeah, like let's go with that.
No, it does. It does feed me, but at the same time, it feeds me as a man, saying like, "Oh, this is what I can do, and this is how I could provide for it."
Yeah.
You know, because it does suck.
Gonna have to wrap it up. Sorry.
But it does suck that sometimes I feel like it's like fuck, man. Like we both work part-time jobs, and we both what?
Nothing. I didn't say nothing.
Babe, you want to go down that road?
I did not say nothing.
We what?
I didn't say anything.
No, say it.
I didn't say anything.
You gotta be open.
I did not say nothing.
Cropped out.
Just bleep it out. Just go censor it. You said say it. I said it.
Snip. But yeah. No, like sometimes I feel like I'm like, fuck, dude, I wish I can do better. But then it's funny how like I think that, and then everybody around me tells me, Jesse, you're doing good, you're doing good, you're doing good. You tell me you're doing good. And it's like my cousin the other day put her hand on my back. She's like, you gotta stop giving yourself a hard time. And I'm like, fuck, dude. I just think there's things that I want, things I want to get to, and I feel like I need to be like this so I can get to them. Because that's the only way that I ever got successful at something is because I thought like this.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah.
Um.
Still recording.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening.
Sorry for the little rant. We've been off, what, a couple weeks?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Fuck, dude. We've been all over the place. We went to Cayucas. That was fucking cool. That was fucking cool. The beach house. I couldn't thank my friend enough. That we did go, and we got to experience a beach house for 4th of July, and it was one of the best 4th of Julys we ever had.
Yeah.
We got to.
We normally do nothing for 4th of July. Nothing. Nothing. We stay home. We do nothing.
And then we got to experience my friend getting engaged. Right, and that was a cool experience.
Yeah.
And the Cayucas was interesting. It was interesting because it's like the city where everybody's on vacation, right? You don't live there; you just go on vacation there. Pretty cool. But yeah, I love you guys. We'll be back next week, and I hope that you got something out of this. I don't know what it was, just a rant from me and her talking. And I love you guys. Have a great day.
Have a good week.
Don't forget to subscribe, guys.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Love y'all. Peace.